Here we are looking at the last week of February. It's crazy. We're already 2 months into the new year.
Yep.
And so here we go. Last week of February, 900 new listings added. So that last week when we dipped below 800, when there were only 781 new listings, we were maybe worried that we'd lost some of the seller excitement, and the early stuff for the January and February was kind of waning. But with 918 new listings in the last week of February, I'd say that last week was just maybe a slow week for whatever reason. The median list price, it got up weeks ago into the close to 550, but now it's back down in the last couple of weeks in the 530 to 535 range, maybe suggesting that when sellers are coming to the market now, they're a little more sensitive about what price they pick, and they're not being a little overexcited or over-exaggerated with their price, and maybe that's going to bring buyers and sellers together in the weeks ahead. The under contract units, 632. This is our fourth consecutive week at 600 units going under contract or more. That suggests that in the next month or so, we're going to start to see closings climb into the mid 2000s, maybe start even pushing toward 3,000 closings in a month, which is hugely better than what we've been seeing here these last few months when we've been at or below 2,000 units a month. The median price of those properties that are going under contract for the last 2 weeks has been at 475 and 470. And so while we saw a little bump up in the first weeks of 2026, these last 2 weeks suggest that not only are list prices coming down, but the list price of the property is going under contract. The sales price is usually a shade smaller. So we may start seeing sales prices soften a little bit in the weeks and couple of months ahead. Sold units, and hooray, finally, we've gone through the quietness of quarter four, and we're seeing the activity from the start of the year now starting to show in closed units. Finally, 658 units closed this past week. That's up from weeks in the 300s and 400s. This is back to the level of last year. Let's look at that. When was the last time that we had 658 closings in a week? We have to dip back. Isn't it back into 2025? And how far back? Let's look quickly. Back in May, we crossed over 600, but 667, so high 600s wasn't back. It hasn't been a number that we've realized since March of last year. And so that's a good sign, because what I think is all of the quietness of 2025, if this market continues to stay at the pace we're feeling, there's a lot of activity out there right now on the demand side. What I think we'll see is we're going to see a much better high season than we had in 2025. Median sales price, though, look at that of the solds, the median price these last weeks, and this is going to be reflective of what happened in early January, but the last 3 weeks, 485, 507, and 495. So while the under contract showed a lower list price, and we talked about prices softening, in the short term, we're probably going to see a spike in prices. In fact, the February numbers are in, and it'll be interesting here in the next few days when we start to calculate that analysis as to how February will land and what will that median sales price end up for regarding a single family residence. We'll be reporting on that soon. All right, have a great week, and we'll have the monthly numbers to you real soon.